Welcome to the 2022 NFL Draft Position Preview Series. Ethan Greenberg, Eric Allen, and Caroline Hendershot breaking down all positions. And today we're talking quarterbacks. Obviously, the Jets aren't in the market for one of this year's top guys, but perhaps teams would be interested in trading up with the Jets to select their guy. So let's talk about some of the quarterback prospects. Let's start in the ACC with Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh.
A little history lesson for you. Quarterbacks have been taken within those top 3 selections in 18 of the past 24 drafts. That is not likely to happen this year. Kenny Pickett might be the first quarterback taken overall. How about the jump from 2020 when he had 13 touchdowns and 9 interceptions to 2021 when he had 42 touchdown passes and just 7 interceptions. A lot of people are scrutinizing his hand size, just 8.5 inches. Is that going to impact him if he's playing in cold weather climates and also when you get some moisture out there? But Kenny Pickett showed those leadership qualities at Pittsburgh, and how about all those records he broke of former Miami Dolphins great Dan Marino at Pitt?
When your name is alongside Dan Marino, you're probably doing something pretty well. Also, Kenny Pickett, he's a 2-glove guy. Same with Teddy Bridgewater, probably the last guy that we've seen coming out of college wearing 2 gloves. But another guy in that cluster, along with Kenny Pickett, that's Matt Corral out of Mississippi, and he's pretty much one of the only top quarterback prospects who did not play in the Senior Bowl.
You feel bad for Corral because he opted to play in his team's bowl game, the Sugar Bowl against Baylor. He went down with a high ankle sprain, unfortunately was unable to participate in the combine, but he really thrived under Lane Kiffin. They ran a lot of RPOs, and he is a guy who doesn't mind running the football. A lot of quick reads there at Mississippi. He got rid of the ball quick as well. He's the guy who's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's competitive, plays with a lot of heart. We'll have to see if he eventually ends up maybe late in the first round.
Also, Corral, interviews are going to be big for him with the teams because there's some off-field concerns there, something to think about as the pre-draft process rolls on. But perhaps the most potential out of this group comes from Liberty, and that's Malik Willis.
Love Malik Willis, love his ceiling because he's a guy who's a prototypical dual threat, big-time NFL arm. He can get it to anywhere he needs to get it on the field. And in fact, down at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, when it was wet, when it was cold, he had no problems. The other thing Malik Willis can do is he can tuck it and he can run you over. Not the tallest guy in the world, but he plays with a power game. And teams, if they tailor their offense to Malik Willis, he could play right away. Got to work on his touch and his accuracy.
And he's also a guy that feels like a lot of the intangibles are all there. We saw the clip go viral of him helping a homeless woman at the Combine in Indianapolis. But one guy who probably won't hear his name called in the first round is Notre Dame's Jack Cohn. And for more on him, let's hear from Caroline.
7-year-old Jack Cohn grew up wanting nothing more than to go to Notre Dame. So when he had the opportunity to commit to his dream school for lacrosse as a freshman in high school, he jumped on it. But little did he know that was not the path he would end up taking. After his freshman year, Cohn's football career as a quarterback continued to develop, and the late-blooming 3-star recruit started to get a lot of attention. One of those schools interested was the University of Wisconsin. So Cohn ended up spending 3 seasons as a Badger, but before the 2020 season, he suffered a foot injury that sidelined him and prevented him from appearing in any more games for Wisconsin. Incredibly, the Notre Dame storyline came full circle for Cohn. The Fighting Irish wanted Cohn as their starting quarterback with his final year of eligibility, and boy did he deliver. Cohn threw for over 3,000 yards, scored 25 touchdowns, and finished his last game by setting a Notre Dame bowl record for total yards with 509. So Cohn may be flying a bit under the radar as the NFL draft approaches, but he has a great arm, he makes quick reads, he's accurate, and best of all, he's resilient.
Thanks, Caroline. Great stuff. I think you said it best. Really a full circle story for Jack Cohn, who some believe could develop into a really nice backup in the NFL. EA, let's say the Jets want to go in that direction where they want to select a developmental prospect. Who's somebody that fits that bill?
I don't know if the Jets are actually going to use one of their picks on a quarterback, but E.J. Perry from Brown, I like his backstory. East-West Shrine Game MVP. He's a dual threat. And according to Next Gen Stats, he had the highest athleticism grade of any of the signal callers in this draft class, a Boston College transfer. I think about Taysom Hill and the way the Saints have used him over the years, a multi-dimensional weapon. So E.J. Perry, I think he's going to get a long look from many NFL teams down the line.
You know, a decent amount of mock drafts, EA, I alluded to this earlier, they have the Jets trading out of 10, a team trades up to select a quarterback. So Caroline, the Jets have 4 and 10. Would Jets fans be open to a trade back?
So, Ethan, we took to Twitter and we asked Jet fans to tell us what they thought of that question, and the results were pretty overwhelming. 56% of voters said yes, they'd be open to trading back with the number 10 pick, and the rest was almost evenly split between trading number 4 and not trading any picks at all. So, I don't know, you tell me.
I feel like, EA, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Douglas traded back from really either spot because he showed the ability to trade up or back. But, you know, quarterback aside, do you agree with that?
I don't think he's getting any calls about a quarterback on a team interested in getting a quarterback at 4. But I could see a team certainly interested in getting to that number 10 spot and maybe taking the first quarterback off the board. But Joe Douglas, he said he's open to all avenues in improving his team. What you have to do when you move back, and you know this, you got to have a cluster of players because you don't want to move too far back in the first round and a guy you really like comes off the board.
That's right. And last year, Joe Douglas, instead of trading back, he traded up 9 spots and selected Elijah Vera Tucker. But there you have it, the quarterback breakdown. We'll see what happens in April.